4531. 800-754-4531. That's 800-754-4531.
Hi, it's Ron Barr, with the holidays and Christmas upon us, if you're looking for a gift that keeps on giving, I've got a great suggestion. Give them a MyPillow. I just got one and I love it. Check it out. Go to MyPillow.com. Click on the Christmas special and you'll get the lowest price MyPillow ever offered for their 4-pack. And it includes free shipping and a 60-day money-back guarantee through March 1st. So if you want to give someone a gift that keeps on giving, or if you want a more restful night's sleep, go to MyPillow.com and enter the promo code BAR.
All right, folks, we're back. Fifth Street Sports on Sports Byline SB Nation Radio Network. I'm joined with Oklahoma Brian and Florida Rick. And in the break, Brian, I know because this is in your wheelhouse, I was trying to think, like, what's more deceptive and dirtier, like a Nigerian "you're a millionaire" letter or this new college football recruiting?
I think the basketball recruiting is closer to the Nigerian letter. And to answer your question from the previous segment, there's no way college football can be anywhere as dirty as college basketball for a variety of reasons. You know, college basketball, you sign 2 or 3 All-Americans. You're looking at a run at a national championship, certainly making the NCAA tournament. Football, I mean, we're talking 25 kids per recruiting class. You've got to have multiple years of good recruiting classes. So, then you got to also think of, where did that money come from with the college basketball? It came from sneaker companies, right? It wasn't coming necessarily, at least a lot of it was coming from sneaker companies. So these sneaker companies were able to identify, potential NBA players at an early age when they're 15, 16 years old. You see a 16-year-old kid that's 6'10" and can windmill dunk. Hey, that's pretty easy to figure out. That's who you need to throw the money at. NFL players aren't necessarily identifiable until, much later, until they're already enrolled in college. So, for a lot of reasons. And that's not to say that they don't cheat in football. I mean, cheating's rampant in college football, but it's not quite the money, and it's more of boosters and other, it's not the direct inflow of money straight from the sneaker companies like it is in basketball. That's my take on it, at least. Rick, curious what you.
I agree with Brian. There's so many fewer players in basketball, and plus they're pretty much going to be one and done, the superstars. So, that's why this whole Adidas scandal, they were offering, $100,000 plus to these players' families to, lure them to a certain school, and then of course, to learn that shoe company. So in football, you have. I think we were talking about this the other day. The top schools, Alabama and Florida and, Oregon, they're offering out 400, 500 scholarships, some of them, for just football scholarships. So you take that into account, and then you figure basketball in a certain year, some of the top schools will be offering maybe like 7 to 8 scholarships. It's just astronomical, the difference between the two. Yeah. So, to think about that, you're talking about like 50 times, more football players than basketball players. So it all adds up that basketball is going to be way, way, way dirtier.
Hey Frank, here's a great trivia question. Of the Power 5 schools, what school do you think offered the most scholarships this year?
Oh, God.
In other words, had the most offers out on the table.
I'll say the Big Ten.
No. Well, I'm looking for one school.
Oh, one school that offered them. Okay. All across the board, or just basketball, or just football?
No, just football. There's in football.
I'll say. Gosh, Mississippi.
That's good. Good guess, actually.
Good guess.
Really good guess.
Yeah. Very good guess. Yeah. Very close.
Yeah.
Am I in the wheelhouse here?
Think of the other Manning. Think of the other Manning.
Oh, okay. So LSU.
No, the other one.
Oh, how about Alabama?
Alabama offered a surprisingly large amount of scholarships. You would think because of Alabama is such an elite football program that they would basically just select who they want. And no, Alabama actually offered a couple hundred scholarships this year. But no, the number one school was Tennessee. They offered over 500 scholarships this year.
Wow.
Now they can only take 25, but they had 500 offers out on the table.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Here's an even crazier story. 2 years ago, they had 20 scholarships offered to one high school.
Oh,
Wow.
what high school was that?
IMG Academy. It's kind of an outlier. It's a school where pretty much everyone in the graduating class is getting a D1 offer almost. But
IMG Academy.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, that's amazing.
Yeah.
No, but you're absolutely right. You find two kids that 6'10", 6'11" can shoot and dunk and fly. You get those two kids on your team, and you had a decent team to start with. And you're right. You're gonna get into the big tournament. You're gonna make a run at it. Football, all right. So you see a freshman kid that can run and he's big. It's gonna take a few years to develop. It's not so easy,
yeah.
It's not so easy.
Well, plus
Go ahead.
the fact that in basketball they're going to be one and done, so they're going to the NBA after 1 year. Football, they're required to stay at the university for minimum 3 years, so they can't even leave until they finish their junior year, or if they redshirt their sophomore year. So that's the other reason they can one and done. They're in the NBA the following year. It's football, they have to wait 3 years, and especially with injuries, who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, and part of the money in basketball wasn't just the sneaker money. There was also these guys, these handlers of players that would basically steer the players into agents, right? And an agent gets whatever the fee is. It's small. It's like a couple percent, but these guys would get a piece of the agent fee for steering these guys, and they could make good on delivering these kids consistently to agents. After they were one and done, they were getting a piece of the agent fees. So there's a lot of money on the table, a lot of reasons for people to kind of get dirty in basketball, more so than football. But that's not to say that there aren't. I'm watching a lot of these guys today flip commitments on the day of the signing day. And it's not. Obviously, there's a lot of reasons that kids flip at the last second, but if you're on the short end of it, if your school is a school that gets kind of dissed, left at the altar, that's the first thing you think about is, was the whole entire transaction legitimate or not, or was the kid given money at the last second?
But
we don't
it's
always
kinda,
know.
But as an athletic director at a college, boy, you'd really have to see, like, if you played it like a chess game. Okay, let's say that Alabama, Ohio State, Mississippi, Tennessee, all these big schools, that football means everything to them. And you're one of these schools like Connecticut, maybe Baylor, that kind of level like that. You're never going to even get close to competing. So if I was the athletic director, I would do like the Connecticut coach, saying, take it, guys. I can't even get close. I'm going to focus on women's basketball. I'm going to focus. If you're a school like in Arizona, say, take it. I know football's king and the whole deal, but we got no shot here. I'm going to focus on baseball. I'm going to do tennis. And I would just recruit the top of the top. Well, they're all looking out the window at football players. Maybe I could get myself 3 great tennis players or 4 great pitchers,
Good luck with that. My question to you would be: do your boosters, does your alumni care that you got the 3 greatest tennis players from Slovakia to come to?
But I would actually have a meeting with them and
at.
say, guys, we're drawing dead. We can't compete with the SEC schools. What do you want? Oh, so we're going to go from 4-8 to I'm going to do a real good job this year and we'll go 6-6. Really? Or would you at least want to be win the baseball championship or the women's college basketball championship? Like the guy at Connecticut.
Sure.
They had a great coach and they focused on women's basketball.
Yeah. I think the all of the outrage over the only having 4 teams in the college football playoffs really kind of it's a function of the fact that it's such a limited circle of schools that can get in to the to the playoffs that it's frustrating. It's not sustainable, I think, in the long run.
Guys, when we come back, because we got to take a little bit of a time out here, when we come back, I'm going to expand on that, Brian. I'm going to show you why this college football is like a socialist or a communist program. Back in 3 minutes.
Okay.
Fifth Street Sports.
Nice job, Frank.
Attention business owners. Are you struggling while waiting for your customers to pay on their net 30, 60, or 90-day invoices? Can't get a business loan? Have no equity? Bad credit? Or maybe no credit at all? Then you need to call AmeriFactors right now. AmeriFactors will give you cash for your invoices and there's nothing to pay back. We simply buy your account receivables, and if those clients don't pay on the invoices, we take the loss. We give you funds based on your account receivables, not your credit. And 98% of all applicants are approved. It's that simple. With AmeriFactors, there's no more waiting for your customers to pay. We give you the funds up front, then we wait for your customers to pay us. Fund your business today. Call AmeriFactors right now.
800-847-1183. 800-847-1183. 800-847-1183. That's 800-847-1183.
Attention business owners. Now is the perfect time to start saving money on your cable TV bill for your business. We can give you packages with up to 90 great channels and save your business a ton of cash. And if you call right now, you can learn how to get free equipment and free installation. Now you have choices. It's time to start saving money on your cable TV bill for your business. And call today and get 90 channels plus free equipment and free installation. Smart business owners like you all across the country are consolidating and saving money on their cable TV, internet, and phone service for their business. So now's the perfect time. This may be a limited time offer to the first 100 people that call right now, so please save money and call now.
800-470-7113. 800-470-7113. 800-470-7113. That's 800-470-7113.
If you or someone you love suffers from drug addiction, now is the time to utilize your private health insurance PPO plan. If eligible, receive up to $30,000 or more in substance abuse benefits with low or no out-of-pocket cost. We are the National Treatment Network, the premier drug and alcohol treatment referral service operating 24/7. We help connect you with facilities nationwide that accepts PPO private health insurance for substance abuse. If you have PPO substance abuse coverage and you need immediate admittance to a medical detox or residential rehab treatment center, call us now. Call our live referral helpline today. The call is free. This program is not available to Medicare or Medicaid customers.
Call 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. That's 800-296-1252.
All right, guys, it's Fifth Street Sports, and this Oklahoma Brian and Florida Rick, they just triggered a little bit of I know they're college experts and college recruiters, but in the interim, I kept doing a lot of thinking over this recruiting in basketball and in college football. Now, we know that right now, you could have taken a player like, let's say, Michael Jordan in his senior year at North Carolina. You take the way he played right then, and you put him on the Rebels right now, and the Rebels contend for the national championship, right? I mean, or close. What do you think?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you could have taken
one player for sure.
Right. You could have taken Joe Montana when he played for Notre Dame in his senior year, and you put him on the Rebels right now, and they end up with maybe one more win. So it doesn't really matter too much in football because you got 44 players, the shorter the amount of players in a sport, the better chance that you have at winning something. It's like gambling. When you have the worst of it, you want to bet as much as you can, as fast as you can. When you have the best of it, you want as many trials as possible. Same thing in sports. Like, you could win the national championship in tennis if you just got lucky and out of like Sparks High School, you found Roger Federer. And then you put him on, right? He wins it. Roger Federer, he's a one-man. Well, basketball is the smallest amount of players on any of the sports. Like baseball, you need 9 or 18, or you need like 12 with the relief pitchers. Football, you need 44 plus. Basketball, you only need 5. Every school only gets 5. So if you happen to recruit 1 or 2 gems that are just so over the top and good, you got a shot. In any of so I would focus with these schools that don't have a shot. Like, you're not going to out scholarship Alabama or Ohio State or Michigan and these kind of schools. If I was one of these mid-level schools, I would focus on the other sports, and at least I would have a chance at some trophies or making something. I think you're drawing dead. So it's almost like communism and socialism. Those top 15 schools, it is. Those top 15 schools in college football, I guarantee you one thing. Will run out the next 20 years if you keep the system around, and out of those top 15, minimum 12 are there every single year. Minimum 12 out of those 15. It's communism.
Is it communism or is it capitalism?
No, I think I think it's communism. It's just owned by the NCAA. It's owned by the NCAA. That's the way it is. Those schools are going to be there all the time. Am I right or wrong?
The way it's set up now, it's really hard for a school like UCF to break through into this championship. Of course, there's a solution to that, and that's to simply award yourself a national championship, which is what UCF did.
But seriously, think about it. Besides those schools, Alabama, Oklahoma, those ones that we see every year, do you ever see any of them, forget winning it, do you ever see any of them even in the BCS or the college championship? You never even seen Boise State when they ran the table. Nothing. They're drawing dead.
That's true. Yeah, it's a system that's rigged against the little guys.
That's communism. Communism is rigged for the little guy, right? That's communism. It's going to be the same thing. It's going to be run by the NCAA. You can't do anything about it.
I'll agree that it's rigged. I'm not sure if it's communism, but it is rigged.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy National Signing Day. I was just looking at one of the big stories as a kid. I just saw this during the break. One of the highest recruited players in the country was a kid from here in Tulsa. It looks like he just flipped today. He was supposed to go to. He announced he was going to Michigan. Then he announced he was going to Alabama, which made me happy. I'm an Alabama guy, and it looks like moments ago he flipped back to Michigan. So gotta wonder what was going on in his head. But good luck to him. I was hoping he would be in Tuscaloosa, but every year we see these crazy stories with there was one in particular I remember. I think it was Alex Collins going to Arkansas a few years ago, where he was sitting next to his mother. He was a minor, so I guess he needed her signature on his letter of commitment, and she ripped it up or ran out of the gym and wouldn't sign it because he wasn't going to the school that she wanted him to, and he eventually sent another commitment letter and his father signed it. But it's always crazy stuff happening. I love the school assemblies and the drama of the kid putting 2 hats on the table, and the it's really the same idea as LeBron having the national TV special where he announces he's taking his skills to South Beach.
Speaking of hats and putting your stuff on the table and 2 hats and everything, what about that one kid that put 2 hats on the table, but it would have been a lady, like putting 2 Louis Vuittons on the table, and then when you flipped it over, they would have said made in Korea. How about that kid Kevin Hart? Kevin Hart putting those 2 hats on the table. What about that hoax?
That's one of my favorite stories. That's one of my favorite. That is the best. Actually, That's the best story of National Signing Day. So, this is actually the 10th year anniversary of that. That was 2008. So this kid named Kevin Hart is I think he's a likable kid, kind of a big kid, 6'4", kind of overweight kid who always was really into playing football, wanted to play football, but was always a step slow and not necessarily the strongest kid. Just didn't have the athletic skills that
Offensive lineman.
high offense. He was offensive line. He was offensive tackle. So he he ends up in a situation where his family moves to the Reno area from the Bay Area, and he goes to a school that's one of the just absolute doormat of high school football. This school's never ever really amounted to anything. They lose every year, and he somehow manages to build himself into not a good player, but a decent player. I mean, he has 6'4", so he has that going for him. But if I remember the story correctly, he couldn't bench 100 pounds as a freshman.
He was 300 pounds, the slowest kid on the field, and he benched 95 pounds. 300 pounds. I can bench 95 pounds.
I can too. And he makes his way into a halfway decent player, and then somewhere along the way, he tells what he thinks is a minor lie. He tells someone in the town that he has an offer from Cal, and no one from the school has ever gone D1. It was like the biggest thing to ever happen at this little town, and it becomes like the biggest story, of the year. And the funny thing is, not only was he marginal in terms of his football talent, but do you remember the deal with his grades?
Oh my gosh, he had a solid D average, D like dog, right?
Yeah. He shouldn't have been eligible to play. Like they missed. I guess there had been 2 rules at the time, and they had switched over from one rule to another. Under the previous rule, you only had to pass all of your classes and you could be eligible. But they had made a rule change a few years before that you had to carry a 2.0 average. And this kid, who basically was a straight D student, so he shouldn't have been eligible. It wouldn't have made him attractive to any school. But so he makes up a lie. He's just a terrible student.
Now, is that just because that school was the only one that didn't catch that rule change where you just had to pass every class versus having a C average?
My understanding was the athletic director at the school should have caught it.
Right. Okay.
Didn't
right.
Catch it.
So he gets away with that, and then go on. Tell us what happens after he gets away with that.
Yeah. So then he, the Cal offer wasn't enough. He then starts to tell people he's got multiple offers, including University of Oregon, and it's just like the ultimate lie that just keeps, like, there's no way out of this. At this point, everyone's looking at this kid like, Kevin, where are you going to go? You're going to go to Oregon? You're going to go to Cal? And he's like, I don't know. Got a lot of options. And then the principal says, you know what, Kevin, we need to have an assembly for this. So they call an assembly, and next thing you know, like, all of the local media is there. They got cameras, and he's got a Cal and an Oregon hat on the table. But time out for a second, because in the like week or two before this, the head coach at the school calls Jeff Tedford, the Cal coach, and says to him, hey, Jeff, I just want to let you know your recruiting of this kid means everything. Like, he's really come a long way, and I'm going to be so happy that you'll have him there in Berkeley, and he really is a wonderful kid. And Tedford gets back to him and says, look, I don't know what's going on there in your town, but we did not offer this kid a scholarship. Right. So if he told you that, you might want to go back and check on that. So the coach goes back and tells the kid, hey, I talked to Jeff Tedford, and he said he didn't offer you a scholarship. And this is the brilliant part. The kid doesn't hesitate. He looks right at his coach and says, Coach, don't you know they're not allowed to discuss that with you. It's private. It's between me and them. They can't tell you. That's the standard answer.
Right.
And the coach is fooled by it. The coach is like, oh, that makes perfect sense.
Right.
So,
but Brian, but you gotta finish this when we come back from this break. But but you failed to mention that along the way in his kid's last 2 years of high school, he got really good. He trained well. He got really fast. That's why they actually bought, like, wow, he's got two hats on the table here. Where's he going to go? Because he did get really, really good. You know, he got fast, strong.
I wouldn't call him fast, but he was big and strong, and he wasn't D1 caliber, but he was a big guy who could certainly play at some level.
Right. Bring that back as soon as we come back. Fifth Street Sports, back in just a few.
If you or a loved one is suffering from a physical or emotional condition that has left you unable to work, then listen carefully.
Sorry, guys, my bad.
800-593-7491. That's 800-593-7491. When you call, you'll speak with a Social Security disability expert and get a free evaluation to see if you may qualify for disability insurance benefits from the U.S. government. That's right, a monthly cash payment paid directly to you from the Social Security Administration. Whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied disability benefits, call now. The disability attorneys at Pinnacle Disability can help you build your case, file an appeal, and represent you at no upfront cost to you. Don't wait another minute to see if you may qualify for your Social Security disability benefits. Call Pinnacle Disability Group at 800-593-7491 for your free case evaluation. That's 800-593-7491. 800-593-7491. Call now.
Where do you want to go on a vacation or honeymoon? The Caribbean, Europe, Hawaii, Mexico? How about Disney or a cruise? At Superior Cruise and Travel, we've got you covered. We'll assign you your own travel concierge. They'll help you design a custom vacation plan that you can't find online. And the service is completely free. You can't compare the value of this to any other online travel company. We can help you plan a custom vacation anywhere in the world. We even offer payment plans with no credit card required. Now you pay off your vacation on your time schedule. Call now and mention the promo code RADIO and save up to $500. Book your custom trip. Call Superior Cruise and Travel now and talk to one of the highest rated travel agencies in the country with a 5-star A+ online rating.
800-570-9631. 800-570-9631. 800-570-9631. That's 800-570-9631.
Is your job sucking the life out of you? Wake up. You can do something else. Information technology. I know what you're thinking, but I'm not a math and science person. No problem and no excuses, because it's not rocket science. It's My Computer Career. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. You can start your new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months. mycomputercareer.edu. That's mycomputercareer.edu.
Here comes the decision now. Let's listen.
Clarity in the world of professional boxing is spelled WBO. That's right, the World Boxing Organization is boxing's only transparent sanctioned body. You can follow the WBO on Facebook or check out their website, WBOboxing.com. That's WBOboxing.com. The World Boxing Organization.
Who's done it? We have a new heavyweight champion of the world.
Folks, we're back. Fifth Street Sports. Rick was on a little bit of a timeout. We had a little bit of technical difficulties there, but me and Brian were carrying it. And then Brian, so we got to the point where this kid gets really good in high school, and the town's starting to look at him because it's this town that hasn't sent one D1 kid to any scholarship ever. So he starts this, and he got deeper and deeper with his hoax, and he puts to the point of putting two hats on the table and calling press conferences. So why don't you take it from here?
So he has the big press conference. Of course, he has no offer from either school, but nevertheless he has the Cal and the Oregon hat on the table, and he ends up putting the Cal hat on. And again, so this time the Cal coaches hear about it again, and the Cal coach calls the high school coach and is like, I have no idea why you guys are doing this, but this kid does not have an offer. Why are you doing this? And at that point, the kid's story starts to unravel. And he initially blamed it on a third party, like some kind of headhunter service that he had contracted with to find him a scholarship, and that they had botched it. But eventually, they break the kid, and he admits it was just a big hoax. Well, the part of the story that I'd like to actually go back and research this, but I remember the police got involved and they almost charged him with a crime. I don't understand what the crime would have been. I mean, it was, it was dishonest, and but where's the victim in this? I'm not sure. I understand why.
He became the victim, the poor kid. I mean, he got so depressed, couldn't go to school anymore. People were even making fun of him, wearing shirts at his last high school football game saying, we're going to Cal also. We're going to Cal too. They were all making fun of him. But the kid got really depressed. But you know what? If you research the story like the one you sent me, it does have kind of a semi-happy ending, right? I mean, he does get good and gets offered to a D2, right?
Yeah, so I guess I had been getting some mail from junior colleges. He hadn't been taking them seriously because he thought of himself as a Division I prospect, but he actually ends up getting into a community college, and he gets injured. He's there for a long time. He's at the community college for like 4 years, but ends up playing and makes a decent player out of himself to the point that he actually gets a scholarship to a Division II school.
Yeah,
and that's kind of where I lost track of the story. I hope he graduated. I hope he's done something with himself, because I think it's kind of a fun story.
So do I. But now after that story, now is Rick back on with us? Did he get the technical difficulties taken out of the way? We got no Rick yet. So since we don't have Rick yet, because Rick's going to have a lot of our talk, you can bet on stuff along with some of yours. I have one because now next Tuesday is Christmas, and then Christmas Eve is Monday. I don't even know if we're going to run a show Christmas Eve and Christmas. So I'm going to start handing out a couple early Christmas presents that you can bet on, okay? Now, there's a big difference between, do you know the difference between a tout and Santa Claus? Well, probably not, right? Well, when was the last time a tout ever broke into your house in the middle of the night and left you something? Never. So I'm not a tout, but I'm going to give you an early Christmas present in the bowl games. Brian, I love this game. I remember when we started this show during the football season, I said take the rubber bands off and ship it on Philadelphia in the home opener against Atlanta. And I struggled, but I got the dough. And remember, I said if I lose this game, I'm leaving the country for 30 days. I ended up winning it. I got away with it. But I got one, take the rubber bands off the bankroll, okay, in the bowl games. You want to bet on Kentucky. Kentucky over this Penn State getting 7. It's an early Christmas present for you. Then I got a little bit of a junior Christmas present, right? And I really like this game too, is this Northwestern. Got to go. Them two teams have been nothing but money for me all year. Kentucky and Northwestern are 2 Christmas presents from Uncle Frank on 5th Street Sports. If by the time Rick gets mic'd up over here, can we start handing out a few Christmas presents right now, Brian, for these bowl games? Come on.
I'm looking at. I know you liked Kentucky right from the get-go. That was you liked that one the day it was announced, and I don't disagree. I kind of like that one as well. What about tonight's game?
Tonight's game, okay.
Tonight is San Diego State versus Ohio.
Right,
and it opened 5.5. It's been bet down to 2.5. I actually think I like the favorite minus 2.5.
Gosh, it's scary because, I know that one of our residents, Chris, who's a pretty sharp handicapper, he likes San Diego State early. Every sharp account all week long right now, I've been seeing San Diego State. And it's like when Rick says, and even the public is starting to take this dog. But now Rick says to me that, no, the public is actually betting the favorite. It's the sharps taking San Diego State. But see, yesterday we liked UAB. And they took the other, and we took the other side, and UAB got bet down to pick. We stuck with it, and we won easy. You know what? I'm going to stick with the San Diego State. I'm going to go with my with one of our residents, our handicappers, Chris, and all of our
Rick
sharp
likes
accounts.
it too.
Yeah, now
Yeah,
I'm
Rick,
gonna-
Rick likes San Diego State as well. He's also adamant about never betting MAC teams in bowl games.
But that
That's
was
like
one of
his.
well, wasn't one of your cardinal rules?
Yeah. I just hate taking 2.5 when I could have had 5.5, 5, 4.5,
Ooh,
4.
Yeah.
But all right, I'm gonna pass on it, and I'm not gonna object to you taking San Diego State. Although I do hate the line entry. I think it's poor line entry.
Well, I can give you another quick little nugget. I saw three of our super sharp accounts on under 27 in the first half.
That makes sense. I mean, these are two running teams,
right?
Two coaches that are older than. Man, this might be the of all of the ball games, the two coaches with the most years in coaching, right? With I believe this will be what, Rocky Long and Frank Solich.
Hey, Brian, we just got something on Fifth Street Social. Said, Brian, how about a little Christmas present from you? Frank just gave out 2. You got anything for our guests that have been listening to us all year?
Yeah, I've got one that I like. Well, I got one that I like a lot. I think I gave this out a few weeks ago. I'll give it out again. I love the under in Houston Army. I think Army's going to have the ball a really large percent of the game. I like that one a lot. Now, I'm going to contradict myself because I said that I hate taking a bad number after the numbers move, but I really, really like Syracuse against West Virginia. I feel like West Virginia has checked out. The offensive coordinator took a job as a head coach at Texas State. The quarterback is sitting out. Offensive linemen are sitting out. Receivers sitting out. That's usually a bad sign. You see lots of guys take themselves out. So yeah, I kind of feel like this West Virginia team has kind of mailed this in. So I like Syracuse.
But
I really like.
But would you actually give it out as a little Christmas present? Is it that strong?
Yeah. I'll give it out as a Festivus present.
Hey, but there's one thing for sure. This Army under of yours that you gave out 2 weeks ago, with that being 2 weeks old and the line moves so strong, like what is it down to now? Like 59? Like that's got to be considered.
I think it's 60.
60, but it wasn't at 66, 65 when it opened?
Opener was. Yeah. That
Okay.
was just a ridiculous opener.
Right. So 2 weeks old and it's moved 6 points. If you're releasing that as a Christmas present, that's more like a gift card. Like if you've gotten like
That's
your
a gift
wife,
card, yeah.
right? Like your wife
Yeah.
always says, don't give out gift cards. They're boring and they're cold. And pick something out. That's like a gift.
It's kind
card.
of like that's like when you're finding things for stockings and you don't feel like actually going out and shopping, so you just start looking in drawers, like trying to find crap that people don't even realize is already in the house. Like, oh look, a pack of chewing gum. Let's go in.
I've actually given
Uncle
out
Fred's,
Stations
stocking.
T-shirts. Stations T-shirts or a hat from Caesar's Palace, stuff that
Sure.
that did in giveaways. All right, so
Yeah.
so you got Syracuse as a Festivus present.
Yes.
Have you got? Well, Hanukkah's over. Hanukkah's over, right? So
Hanukkah is over. Yeah.
So we can't give out nothing for Hanukkah. We were cheap in the Hebrew kind of way. So now let's do a Christmas present. Let's give out something that's strong enough to have a bow on it.
Well, it sounds square, but I really, really like Alabama against Oklahoma.
With
I know it's not in your DNA to lay 14. You can't do it, but I'm going to do it.
Well, I mean, if you have to do it, let's say they told you you got to lay 2 touchdowns or more in any football game left this year, you'd have to pick Alabama, right?
Oh yeah. I think it's a route, to be honest with you.
Now when you get with that kind of thinking, a route, a powerful team laying double digits, would you think that carries over to the Clemson game?
I also like Clemson. Yeah, Clemson's moved up a little bit. Clemson opened around 10.5, 11. Pretty sharp better. Bet them on Monday, I believe. And I think he laid 11.5. It's up to 13.5 now. And I certainly wouldn't be on the other side of it. I wouldn't lay I don't know if I would lay 14. I wouldn't, in fact, but I like to play laying 11.5, 12. I mean, generally speaking, as the year goes on, we tend to be a little bit, as sharp bettors, we're a little bit reluctant to lay lots of chalk. But the bowl games are the exception. Bowl games are more analogous to opening week, to week 1 of college football, than they are to week 12. I mean, because of the huge gap between between the end of the regular season and the bowl game. So I think you approach it like you approach a week 1 game, and that's with the expectation that teams can win by a drastic amount.
Yeah,
hey, got an NBA play for you.
Oh, you do. Beautiful. Okay, ship it out. Let's go. We got to make some dough, brother.
So in the NBA, I believe my computer's locked up, but I believe that Charlotte is playing Cleveland in the NBA tonight. Is that right?
Yeah. I think they're laying 11.5, 12, right?
Yeah, this is a system that I've been mentioning a lot this year. This is a system that basically tries to identify tired teams versus rested teams.
Okay.
And there's a sleep scientist at Stanford named Sherry Ma who identifies, it's a great term, she calls them scheduled losses, games that when she looks at the NBA schedule at the beginning of the year, where she realizes it's just a bad situation in terms of time zones, travel, time between games. And so she identified this as one of the scheduled losses when the year started. So the play would be Charlotte laying 12 or 12.5. And, of course, you also get the benefit of having Cleveland win the night before. So you're probably getting potentially a little bit of value with Cleveland coming off a run.
I seen that in one real sharp account early, Charlotte minus 11.5. Hey, but when we come back, Brian, besides sharing some of your picks, Rick, since he's got technical difficulties, has just WhatsApped me his picks. Since we got less than a minute, when we come back, we're going to have Rick's selections plus anything else we have. Yeah, it looks like he's got 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, Rick has 5 plays. He also mentioned, don't let the people remember that Rockford is also on San Diego State. Okay,
that's right.
So we got everybody, and then you're on the fence. You're on the fence.
I'm on the fence.
Right? So we got about 5 of us on this. But, yeah, when we come back, we got 5 plays from Rick plus anything else. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. It's Fifth Street Sports. Back with the money segment.
If you or a loved one is suffering from a physical or emotional condition that has left you unable to work, then listen carefully. Take this number down. 800-593-7491. That's 800-593-7491. When you call, you'll speak with a Social Security disability expert and get a free evaluation to see if you may qualify for disability insurance benefits from the U.S. government. That's right, a monthly cash payment paid directly to you from the Social Security Administration. Whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied disability benefits, call now. The disability attorneys at Pinnacle Disability can help you build your case, file an appeal, and represent you at no upfront cost to you. Don't wait another minute to see if you may qualify for your Social Security disability benefits. Call Pinnacle Disability Group at 800-593-7491 for your free case evaluation. That's 800-593-7491. 800-593-7491. Call now.
Hey travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1780. 855-325-1780. That's 855-325-1780.
Where do you want to go on a vacation or honeymoon? The Caribbean, Europe, Hawaii, Mexico? How about Disney or a cruise? At Superior Cruise and Travel, we've got you covered. We'll assign you your own travel concierge. They'll help you design a custom vacation plan that you can't find online. And the service is completely free. You can't compare the value of this to any other online travel company. We can help you plan a custom vacation anywhere in the world. We even offer payment plans with no credit card required. Now you pay off your vacation on your time schedule. Call now and mention the promo code RADIO and save up to $500. Book your custom trip. Call Superior Cruise and Travel now and talk to one of the highest rated travel agencies in the country with a 5-star A+ online rating.
800-570-9631. 800-570-9631. 800-570-9631. That's 800-570-9631.
Guys, we're back. Fifth Street Sports. It's the final segment. And, we've had technical difficulties with Rick, but the trooper that he is, he has sent us all of his plays to release them to you via our new technology of WhatsApp. All right, here's Rick's plays had he been on the show. I can't give the explanations because we don't have that much time. NBA, game 561, Indy +5. Here's another one. NBA 572, Utah +2. College basketball, 707, Penn State -5.5. College basketball, 745, Montana +8.5. And then once again, college football, San Diego State +2.5. And he says that checks with Rockford, it checks with Frank, it checks with Chris. Only Brian is on the fence. That's it for the. Now, when Rick and Brian come on and give their picks, what we know that the machine with the highest chance at a payout and pays out the most in a casino is the ATM. Well, that's the same thing with Fifth Street Sports. When Rick and Brian give out their picks like this, it's usually an ATM for the players. Don't you think, Brian?
That's quite a compliment. We've done really well this year when we match on games, and we try to not discuss the games until we've analyzed them separately and then see if we match. So I think that's a good habit for everyone to be in, is not to fall into the trap of groupthink where you're kind of steering yourself into the same selection as your
correct
as your friends. Yeah.
How about you? You got anything they can take to the bank here?
Take to the bank. One play from a sharp account that's in the NBA. It's Chicago in the NBA.
What's the game number and the line? You got it real quick?
Game number is 568, and they're getting about 2.
Okay, so folks, let's recap this real quick. 568 +2 NBA. 561 Indy +5. 572 Utah +2. 707 Penn State -5.5. 745 Montana +8.5. San Diego State +2.5 in college football. Brian, thanks, brother. Rick, we'll see you tomorrow. Everybody, we appreciate you. Thank you for listening and watching Fifth Street Sports. We'll see you tomorrow, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. Have a beautiful day and good luck to us tonight.
All right, guys. Clear. Good show.